I've run both times with opponents before. Unopposed is really nice, so I thank the community for that.
Sheriff Rick Staley celebrated his unopposed re-election at an event earlier this week. He also announced a donation of surplus campaign funds. Karen Johnson has more on our top story.
The Keep Rick Staley Our Sheriff campaign announces that it has donated $100,000 of leftover campaign funds to the Flagler Sheriff's Employees Assistance Trust, FSEAT, which Sheriff Rick Staley says comes with quite the honor.
I have the honor of being the second sheriff in the history of the Flagler County Sheriff's Office to be reelected unopposed. The only other time that occurred was in 1968 in 107 years. So I'm very honored that the public is so happy with the service that our employees are performing.
More than 150 campaign supporters and donors attended the event celebrating Sheriff Staley's leadership, with crime down 50% since he took office.
In 2017, I started the Flagler Sheriff's Employee Assistance Trust to support the men and women of the Sheriff's Office when those unexpected emergencies occur in their personal life.
Each campaign contributor also received a personal letter from Sheriff Staley indicating that 92% of their contribution would be donated in their name to FSEAT. The other 8% was spent on campaign expenses. The next gala event will be held in February 2025, and Florida law is very specific about disposing of leftover campaign contributions, and a nonprofit is one of those options. For Flagler's Local Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
Good morning, Flagler County. I'm Rich Carroll. You're listening to Flagler's Morning News on Thursday, August 1st.
We're busy enough that we don't have time to go down and, stake out kids making sandcastles.
We continue our deep dive into what you can and can't do on Flagler Beach.
Can you take your dog to the beach? Police Chief Matt Downey.
So you can, between North 10th and South 10th in that area. Animals are prohibited unless they're a service animal or they're there for an event where it's been approved, such as the dog surfing event that we have, Hang 8. There's an exemption for that because they went in front of the commission. But anything outside of 10th North and 10th South, so if you want to go down across from, say, where Turtle Shack is in the 2100 block, you can have your dog, but it's got to be on a leash.
Flagler County Commission Chair Greg Hansen says they do allow horseback riding on Hammock Beach.
We have an ordinance. We get attacked for horse manure on the beach. We don't have any. We require the horses to be on the wet part of the beach, not the dry part of the beach. And there is no requirement to pick up their poop because it washes out to sea, and it's biodegradable. So, and the other is a safety thing. If you can't make the leader get off the horse, they won't be able to get back on.
Tomorrow we'll take another look at Flagler Beach's rules on golf carts. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Daryl Nudie.
This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you. As the peak of hurricane season approaches, the City of Palm Coast Stormwater and Engineering Department is taking proactive steps to lower canal water levels citywide. This is to enhance the stormwater system and prevent flooding in homes and businesses. This measure enhances the canal's capacity to manage heavy rainfall, reducing the likelihood of flooding and water damage. With Palm Coast and Flagler County in a potential tropical development zone, residents are advised to prepare by creating emergency kits and evacuation plans. More information can be found on the city's website. If you were writing a book, what would the title be?
Florida House Speaker Paul Renner says his would be Bold Leadership. But why?
Every leader, everybody in a position has certain, call them superpowers and super weaknesses. And so I think if you look at the last 2 years and just knowing more about myself through that experience, is that I really gravitate toward doing things that are transformational, that will benefit 23 million Floridians.
Renner said an educational choice and recent social media bill are two of the big items that the legislator backed. Business Minds Coffee Chat with host Jay Shear is on WNZF Saturday mornings at 8:30 and on the Flagler radio app. Tomorrow, Paul Renner on Being Authentic. From the WNZF newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.